Yeah, I really like being black in Korea, which is like...
Welcome to the Melanated Files. In this series, we highlight and share the stories of black people from across the globe. Remember to subscribe to this channel for weekly videos and also follow us on social media for regular updates. Let's get into the interview. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of the Melanated Files. My name is Ranza and I'm your host, and today we're joined by ZiZi Waters. We're gonna talk about her story in South Korea today. The setup is a little bit different. I hope you guys enjoy it. So we're gonna get into her story right now. Hi ZiZi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, right? Thanks for, having us today, sharing your story with us and all that. So introduce yourself to the world, tell them who you are and why did you come to South Korea?
Okay. Hello everybody, my name is Zinke Manzini, but I go by ZiZi Waters, and I've been in South Korea for about 9 to 10 months now.
Okay, all right, and you live in the countryside, you told me.
Yes.
Where exactly do you live?
I live in I still can't say this properly, the Chungcheongnam province, and I live in a town called Yesan.
Okay, so that's about what, 2.5 hours from Seoul?
Yes.
Okay, what is it like? Do you feel like it's different from being in the city?
Yeah.
Like how so?
It's completely different. So it's actually quite funny. In the countryside, like when I get stares, it's more of like, oh, this is a black person. Wow, what is she doing here? It's like more curiosity.
Yeah.
And then when I get stares in Seoul, it's more of like, oh, another person of color, it's just like, it's it's a different vibe with the stairs. I feel more welcomed actually in the country, which is completely weird because I thought Seoul would be more comfortable and the country would be more like, kind of awkward vibes, but the country is so much better.
Yeah.
It's really weird, yeah.
Yeah?
I was shocked.
So do you speak Korean yet?
Yes.
Okay, so you interact with the locals,
Yes.
right? Is it more young people or old people like with the reception? In terms
Both.
Yeah.
Both. But more, I guess, with my students, and then old people, they have more confidence, like on buses and trains and like in shopping places or just walking. But yeah, I interact with a lot of people. Yeah.
Okay. So, what was the motivation to come to South Korea, and where are you from originally?
I'm from South Africa.
Okay.
So actually, I knew nothing about South Korea until 2017. At the end of 2017, actually, a close relative of mine passed away.
Okay.
So I was going through stuff, and then for some reason I came into contact with K-pop around that same time, and so I guess to kind of like alleviate like what I was feeling, I kind of focused on K-pop and K-drama, and after a while I was like, oh, this language sounds fascinating. So in uni I studied languages here and there, so I was like, oh, I want to learn this language. So then I really dug into Korean like 2018, and then I decided like, why not go to Korea? And like because once I study a language, the culture begins to get interesting. I get fascinated with the way of living, so I was like, well, let's go to Korea and like find this out for myself.
Oh wow.
So that's how I got
so you came here to teach, right?
Yes.
Okay. How has it been so far, the experience teaching?
Wow, it's been really interesting.
Yeah.
I teach at 2 schools, so they are a completely different field, the students. My main school, I love my students. They're so welcoming. They're so interested in English. They're excited, and like they're still even excited about me. And it's been 10 months now, but I still feel so like welcomed by them.
Yeah.
Then my second school, dear God. Like I pray every time I have to go there, but they a bit of a different story, a bit challenging, less interested. It's just they just.
What's the biggest challenge you face there?
Disinterest. They're just disinterested.
Are they unruly as well, or no?
Yeah. So it's a lot of like punching, fighting.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, how can a fourth
In the
grader?
countryside, I'm like, y'all in the countryside.
Literally,
Be calm.
literally,
Chill.
literally. Everything's chill, relax. There's so much screaming. They throw fists, and I'm like, how are kids fighting like this? So it's just, I think the disrespect, just disinterest. But it's just 2 days out of my week, so I'm like, it's okay, it's okay.
So one school is a great experience, the next one is like
The devil himself. Like
another story, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how has your Black experience been like, being here in comparison to South Africa? Given even the past in South Africa, so I know like there's that, it's racially charged. And then here it's different. You're in a homogeneous society. So what's that like, the difference between both?
It's so crazy. Like I've experienced more racism back home than in Korea.
Oh, wow.
It's weird. Like I feel like my Blackness is appreciated more in Korea.
Okay. Really?
Yeah. For some reason, it's a good thing for me right now to be Black in Korea. I've experienced so much opportunities because of my skin color.
Really?
Yeah, and I feel like I'm really appreciated and noticed and valued because of my skin color. So
in what way?
How can I say this? Like where I realize the power you have when you're different.
Okay. So the power of the anomaly.
Because back home, it was like, oh, you're another Black person, yay. And we have this tension between us. But here, it's like people pay attention when I step into a room. And that people can see that as a bad thing, but for me, it's like, whoa, I can gain a lot of control because of this. Like, yeah, and I have a lot of power because of this.
Okay.
If I view it in that way, because you can view it 2 ways. And right now, I feel like people are interested in me more because I'm Black. And I don't know, I feel like my voice can be heard more here because I'm Black, especially since I speak a bit of Korean. So my Black experience in Korea has been really great so far. And I really like being Black in Korea, which is like, I'm grateful for that because not a lot of people can say that, Black people, and I understand why. Okay. So I never want to say they're wrong for feeling a certain way, but for my experience so far, being Black in Korea has been good.
Now the truth is, experiences are individual, right? It's like you living in the countryside, that might be something. It might be your personality, it might be the people that you come in contact with, it might be the area. So that's the thing. So every experience is different, right? And different. And I think no one should try to invalidate someone's experience.
There we go.
Right? Because theirs is different. Because I feel like you can't say that. Because there's so many factors.
Yeah,
right?
so much things come into play.
Yeah, you just listen to someone else, right? Like they share their experience. Experience, you listen to it, and then someone else does the same.
Yeah.
And they listen to it. Because if we want to be heard, we gotta listen. And I'm sure in mine. So I saw a comment where someone was saying something, and I'm like, they're saying it's almost like they're trying to lower their experience over someone else's in the comment section, and I'm like, you can't do that because yours is different. I understand that. We appreciate you sharing it, but you can't use yours to say, well, because I had this means you never had that.
Exactly.
I'm like, there's no way because you weren't there with the person, right? So I understand that.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's also the area I'm in. I guess I was blessed to be there because Yesan, I guess, has different type of people. Because I've been to other places where it's a country, and it's a different vibe. But for me, Yesan has been like a really great place, and I'm shocked at the community I've built in there in Yesan. And like I have my own little family, Korean family there now, and I'm just like, and it's like something that's shocking for me. I never thought, because you watch so many videos, and that's why somebody else's experience, you should know that it's their experience. Because I came here and I was like, oh, I'm going to the rural, it's going to be really hard, but when I got there and I was open to it, I'm having a really good time, and experience it's completely different.
Right?
Yeah.
Was this your first time leaving your country to live somewhere else?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you enjoyed that experience?
Yeah. So much. I've always had a feeling I wouldn't stay in South Africa long. So growing up, during high school, I wanted to move to America. So I was dead sure that I wasn't even going to go to university. I was just going to go to America and start my life there. But my mom was like, nope, get an education first. And then, I came into contact with Korea and stuff like that, and then I wanted to move. So I always had a feeling I wouldn't stay in South Africa for a long time. It's always been a dream of mine to live abroad. So it's been a good time.
Was that just a desire, or was it because of just the way the country was?
Just a desire. I mean, South Africa is beautiful. I mean, it's a great country. I miss it. at times actually you appreciate a place once you leave it, but it's always been in me to not stay in SA, because I just felt like there's a world out there, and I don't think I was just meant to stay in one place.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what's like your ambition for life in South Korea? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Oh my gosh.
Or 3 years?
3 years from now?
Yeah.
Oh dear God. I think it's constantly changing what I want to do. A lot, because my life here has shown me a lot of things that I never thought I would experience, and a lot of things, like, you come across things where you just like, oh, I want to change that, and stuff like that. So in the beginning, when I came to South Korea, I wanted to just teach in South Korea and just like, help my students like meet somebody else, so I can be like the first door to a foreigner, and so I can teach them like, no, even though we're different, we're still the same, we can still be good people, and how they could treat a foreigner. But now I feel like I want to try radio in South Korea.
Nice.
I've always wanted to do radio, and I thought in South Korea would be a great opportunity, and I want to kind of connect South Korea and South Africa to each other, because South Korea doesn't know that South Africans also really enjoy K-pop. And I know that there's the big companies that like have radio for other countries, with the native hosting it. And so I want to try do that too, and get South Africa also like known.
And the thing is, I think you have a good voice as well.
Oh, thank you.
And I actually like the South African accent, and I think a lot of people will concur with that as well. So I think you got a good voice for that. So hey, appreciate it. Why not? Go after it. Why not? Right? So so that's good. So there's one thing that I want to touch on as well when it comes down to with the mission of this channel. We're about repairing the image of Black people globally, in terms of the stereotypes, and a lot of people understand that, especially if you're Black. Right, because the media usually portrays us in like a negative light, usually. So because of all the stereotypes, right, and stuff like that, we want to repair the image, just show people, like primarily Black people, like something inspired. They see another Black person doing something, they're inspired, knowing like what's possible, and stuff like that. And then if other people come in contact with the content as well, they might see and say, oh, because some people like that, right? They have this mindset, right? And sometimes they come in contact with something like, oh, I was wrong. I'm like, duh, clearly you were wrong. Right? So what do you think we could do as individuals and collectively to work toward a global change in terms of the perception of our people? Primarily for us. The goal is not to influence other people that are not Black, but Black people, so that we can maybe rise to the occasion and just like do better, do more, right? Strive to become a better version of ourselves, right? And just show who we are, pretty much, right? Because like just like anyone else, we are multifaceted, and good people, bad people. But what do you think we can do? Like, do you have any ideas in your mind that you think, well, if we did this, what would be it would advance our position?
Think more of ourselves than we do. Think highly of ourselves. I think that's what Black people don't really see right now, is that we don't value ourselves as much as we think we do. And sometimes Black people, I don't want to say this, but sometimes I think we think valuing ourselves means just like being angry and fighting all the entire time. But no, it means changing yourself first and doing something with your life. Then that shows other people that, oh, this is what I can do as a Black person, not just shouting and screaming that we're special, but doing something, showing people that we are special. And I think that's what Black people, sometimes we play too much the victim card in our own minds. I feel like we allow ourselves to be victims, and we want other people to tell us we're great instead of telling ourselves that we're great.
I see.
That's the problem. I think Black people are always constantly looking for someone to tell them, yes, you can go do that, instead of figuring out for themselves that, yes, I can.
So someone else who's not Black.
Yes.
And they value their opinion more than their own people. Or their own. Very problematic.
Very, very problematic. I feel like Black people are always searching for someone to say, yes, this is possible for you, instead of them thinking, you know what? If I can make this possible for myself, then it will be possible. And I think that's the problem. Black people don't want to go for it, and they just stay behind because of fear of failure or something, or not being appreciated, or of the unknown. But I think that if Black people literally did what they had in their minds to improve their lives, or they could do it. And I think it's because the world, and we can't blame ourselves, because the world has told us for such a long time, and still to this day, that we're not valued and we're nothing more than this and that. But if we can change that narrative for ourselves first in our minds, then we can go places, then we can realize how amazing we actually are. And then we don't have to shout it, we don't have to scream and make a fuss. We can just show it by the way we do. Exactly. Because sometimes us fighting, it doesn't help anything. It just becomes noise, loud noise. But our actions speak louder than our words. And that's what I think Black people need to realize. And that you can do something. You don't have to shout it. If you just do it, you can achieve it.
Yeah, that's true. Like, that's excellent advice, right? Because it's like, as you said, actions speak louder than words, right? People can say anything, but once you start acting, it's like, oh, there were all this noise, then you hear silence, and when you look over, you see activity. Right, you're like, okay, snap, there's serious action. They actually mean that. Right, and something that you touched on too, I think, is that we tend to value other people doing certain things more than ourselves. Sometimes it's almost like they have this thing with quality, like, oh well, if somebody's doing it that's not Black, it's maybe better. If someone that's doing it that's Black, it's like, I don't know.
Sketchy, right?
Right. So it's like we need to change that as well. And one example is the watch I'm wearing. A lot of people see my videos. I like it. It's like my favorite watch. Like, I love it. It's actually a Black-owned company.
It's a cool watch.
And it's really nice, right? Yeah, in the States, right? So it's like people have this thing. So I'm like, you can buy stuff from Black-owned companies that are of like a high quality, like high quality stuff. And like Black people do stuff as well that's still high quality, worthy of support. And if it's a store, they can go there and buy something. So we need to change our mindset. We need to like other people as well, from what we've observed, and certain things that we admire in other groups, we also need to do to emulate those behaviors, right? The good ones, right? Like when we see other groups moving together, supporting their own, right? We need to do that as well. So I feel like that's something that's important with the goal that we have with this channel. I think there's a lot that needs to be done, and I'm super passionate about it, and I hope I hope that y'all that are watching that we can really start something, right? And we're gonna lead by example as well, right? And I think there's things that all of us need to work on, and even myself as well. There's a lot that we need to unpack and literally just emancipate ourselves from mentally, so that we can really move forward, which I think is so important.
No, it really is, because you're right. It's because as Black people, sometimes we don't value ourselves as we value other groups, and we don't even really realize that. And I think Black people need to step up for themselves first because we're trying to get other people to see us when we don't even see us. We don't even appreciate what we do. We don't even sometimes like ourselves. We want people to like our skin color, but we don't like our skin color, It's like nobody's gonna like you if you don't like yourself. And sometimes I think we show that, and sometimes we portray the wrong image of ourselves out there in the world, and then we can't be seen as something else. We help the media. Like, the media sometimes only portrays us as certain type of people in certain music videos, and that's all the world sees us for. And then we help them more by showing just that side of ourselves. We don't show ourselves as intellectuals. We don't show ourselves.
And even partaking in stuff like that too, right?
Partaking in it,
right? We consume it and we partake in it. So there's a market and there's a demand.
It's so frustrating.
So it's like,
it's so frustrating. I see, and it's really hard for me because I come to South Korea and as a Black girl, and obviously we're allowed to be different people. You individuals, it's amazing. You're amazing, and I'll never say like you need to be a certain way. But I don't want to be portrayed as that black girl, because that's the image that's put upon me, that just twerks and does this and that. When I don't like going to clubs, I don't know how to twerk. I don't want to twerk. That's not who I am.
Individuals.
Yeah, I sit in a cafe and I'm glad and I'm happy with my life, and I read a book and that's the best day. And other girls like that. But it's not, but the image of Black girls is just that. That's it. That's the only thing I'm seen as. And then when I'm not that, it's disappointing. And it's just like, people can't see us as something else because that's all we give them. That's all the media gives them, and then that's what we help also to give them. And it's like, no, there's the Black girl that does this, and then there's also a Black girl that does that.
But there's a mix. In reality, there's a mix, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, there's, as you said, like you're one way, someone's another way, right? But it's like, especially broadcasting stuff, like that's what we're trying to do here, where it's like people can see the reality, right? They can listen to the stories and understand who a person is and stuff like that, right? So hopefully,
hopefully we can only pray and hope.
Right? So guys, help us with this mission, because that's the heart of what we're doing. Share the video, right? Send it somewhere to a friend.
Please do.
Right? So what drives you personally? Like, what's your philosophy? The thing that gets you up in the morning and that moves you through life?
Gosh, what can I... So I'm a Christian, right? So I just feel like since I'm here on earth, clearly there's something for me to do.
Yes.
I'm not just here to take up air and space. And I feel that more each and every day when I go to school and I see the response of my students to me. I remember we got a new student, a little girl, and she came later on, obviously, than everybody else in the beginning of this semester. And all of my students know me by now, and she's the only one that didn't know me. And I stepped onto the school bus, and she was so shocked. She just couldn't believe that what just walked in the bus. And she was sitting next to a little girl who loves me. And she was just like, Gigi Sam. And, you know, and I was just like, hi. And then she was just like, she looked at her like, oh, you just said hi to her? It's okay? And then the entire day, that new girl was just looking at me. And at the end of the day, because she saw how her classmates were responding to me, she came for a hug. And she was like, annyeonghaseyo. And I'm like, hi. So it went from like the scared face in the morning to like, I just want to be around you. Now she's the little girl that hugs me every day, that wants to be by my side every day. And I realized that if you start from now to teach someone how to respond to other people that don't look the same as them, then just imagine what you can do.
Yeah.
And so that's why every day I think of like, if I can change a little girl's life, that means I can change so many other lives. Because that little girl now will know how to treat other people and not be that person that's staring and making somebody else feel uncomfortable. So I just think that since I'm alive, then that means there's still more for me to do. And that's what drives me. Yeah.
Okay, nice. What's the best life advice you've received overall?
Have you watched the movie We Bought a Zoo?
Oh no.
There's amazing quotes that I'll never forget, and I go by this when I try to do something that's scary, and it goes like this: 20 seconds of insane courage, 20 seconds of just embarrassing courage, and I promise you something good will come from that. And that's what I go for. That's like, anytime I want to do something, I give myself 20 seconds to do it, because that's all you need for your mind to change. Like, so every time I think of something, I just 20 seconds, and then I do it, and I'll always live by that. I always remember that quote. Like,
that's a good one. I think I'm gonna take that one.
You're gonna take it?
I'm gonna adapt
20
it.
seconds?
Like, I'm gonna like adapt that and just like, right?
I love that quote.
Like, what came to my mind when you said that was like me being on the street, maybe just shouting something right now in the midst of a crowd, and everyone just looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm like,
20 seconds of insane courage, literally.
Sorry.
It's okay. So I live by that. I really love that quote, and I'll never forget it.
What's something that you're really good at?
Something I'm really good at. I'm really good, and I'm at connecting with people and making people feel comfortable. I can get along with people because I can adapt myself to situations. That's something I'm really proud of, and that I just always want to feel like people feel wanted when they're in my space, and making someone feel comfortable, because I felt how it feels to like feel not welcomed, and I never want someone to feel that way because of me. So I think what I'm really good at is making someone feel comfortable when they're around me and happy. That's always my goal, and that's why my mom said she named me Rejoice, because I bring joy. Because my mom was like, I always bring joy. So that's always now my mission. She told me, I was like, I want people to feel happy around me.
Wow, well, that's amazing. All right, so where can people find you online?
So on Instagram, I go by ZiZi_Waters, and my YouTube channel is called ZiZi Waters. All right, so you guys can find the links in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. This has been ZiZi Waters. Again, as I said, the links to her social media profiles are in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and remember to subscribe to this channel for weekly videos on the Black experience across the globe. Until next time, hit that notification icon bell down below and help support the mission, right? Send this video to a friend, share it, all that good stuff. We'll catch you next time. Bye for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to share your story or have us visit your region, send us a message on any of our social media platforms or via our website.
That's good.